Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Y'all know who it is. If you don't know who it is, my name's Asia and I just recently moved to Texas. Baby, today we're about to get into just a really big topic that I think isn't really spoken about much, but I want to talk about it with you guys. We want to talk about the truth about living alone and being single. So as you guys know, if you know, I am originally from New York. I recently relocated to Texas in the beginning of April and I moved down here by myself. And when I tell you it's quite possibly the best decision I've ever made, I mean that wholeheartedly. Living alone gives you a whole different type of freedom. You learn about yourself. It has its pros and cons, but I'm seeing a lot more pros than cons. I truly think all women should live alone in their life before they settle down, before they get married. Like just having your own space, having your own things, your own living quarters, it's really just a whole different type of freedom and a whole different type of self-actualization. When you live alone, you are forced to become comfortable with you. So the harsh reality is, if you aren't in tune with yourself, if you aren't I love this for me, I love to do this, you're gonna learn what you like, what you don't like, all that. You're gonna unpack everything when you live alone because it's just you. You're in the space by yourself. Once you come in from going to the grocery store, going to the gym, you're left in your own thoughts, your own area, your own space. And when I tell you, if you're not comfortable with yourself, this will definitely make you comfortable with yourself. And it takes a minute because you're gonna have that uncomfortability stage where you don't want to face your trauma or problems. Like you don't wanna address things you have going on with yourself. But eventually it's gonna happen and you're gonna have to. Which is why I think everyone should have the opportunity to live alone. And I always get asked the question, do you miss your family? Do you feel lonely? Truthfully, I always been an independent type of person. So of course I miss my family, but it's not like a growing pain, like, oh my God, I miss my family, I need to see them this weekend. Like, I'm really cool. I'm so independent, I'm so self-sufficient, and I've been that way for a while. You know, since I went to military academy, I've just always been self-sufficient, able to do things on my own. But missing my family isn't a big thing, and I know a lot of people talk about, oh, I really wanna move so bad, but I wanna miss my family. And you really have to take that step and be selfish for you. Yes, family's big, family's important, but you need to be selfish for yourself. And this is a big leap that you need to take to further your life and to further your future. Making friends is definitely another big thing. I do have an outgoing personality, but me personally, I'm very standoffish. I don't just go seeking out people. I'm not the type to just go around and talk to everybody. I'm very protective of my energy. So I don't open up unless I feel like you're deserving of me and my friendship. So I'm a huge observer. So I like to observe people, their actions, what they do before I say too much about myself. And I'm not an oversharer. I don't like sharing a lot about myself unless I know that I can trust you and that this friendship is worth it, you know? Y'all, this is not wine, this is not alcohol, this is Sprite. Sprite, the spicy kind. So making friends definitely isn't hard. You just really have to get out your comfort zone and just do it. So for me, I was just like, let me just bite the bullet and meet some people. And I'm happy I did because I have two really good friends out here who I love dearly to my heart, and they're very genuine people, and they're also uplifting me and helping me. You also need to find friends on your level or better. I do not recommend finding friends who are below you because they want to drag you down, they're jealous of you. It's giving crab in a barrel mentality, and you don't want that. You want people who are going to uplift you, support you, and be happy for your accomplishments, not feel threatened by you. Another thing I get is, do you feel scared? Like, do I feel scared living alone? One thing about me, I know how to protect myself. I was in the army. I am very well aware of my surroundings. I'm very proactive. Like, I'm not just ditzy. I don't just walk around with my head cut off, like I don't know what's going on. I'm very well aware of everything in my surroundings. I take precautions for my safety. I do a lot of things to ensure my safety, so I'm not scared. Like a lot of people are like, oh my God, were you scared to move alone? Not at all. Like that wasn't even a thought in my head. Like when I was thinking of moving, I was not, oh my God, I'm so scared. That wasn't even a thought in my head because that's just me. I don't scare easily, and I know how to protect myself, and I know how to move a certain way to ensure my safety. And I want to go on to the point about moving, like, so living alone in a new city in your 20s, like, this is a time where you're still learning yourself and you're still learning what you want to do. You're still like learning things. So me personally, I took a whole journey to relearn myself this past year, and this was the best decision I've ever taken. Like, really taking the time to understand what I like, what I don't like, what makes me mad, what makes me happy, what do I like spending time doing, you know, just really unpacking me, like really unpacking my emotions, unpacking my trauma, unpacking things from the past, and just learning to heal and love and just overcoming. So I definitely recommend, even if you don't move alone, have that moment with yourself where you do the shadow work, where you go to the deep, dark ends of your mind and really answer these questions and really figure out who you are. Because when you figure out who you are, nobody can tell you anything. Like, you will be so unfazed. You are on a whole different level. Like, you don't care about people's opinions. Like, you move in a way that benefits you. And when I tell you that's where I am right now, it's literally the best, and I love it. Another point I want to talk about is being single. So yes, I am single, and I feel like at times people are like, do you get lonely? I wouldn't say I get lonely. There are definitely times where I'm like, dang, it'd be nice to like have someone here with me, or like have someone's place to go over, like, you know, just to be in someone's space. Because as females, you want to be submissive, you want to be like, you're emotional, so like you want to be around somebody, you want to be like, ooh, like gooey and everything like that. So I definitely get those moments where I'm like, dang, I wish I had somebody. But because I'm so in tune with me, I'm not in a rush to do it. I'm not boy crazy. I'm not fiending to be with a man. I'm not a pick me. So like, being with a man right now would be nice, but I'm cool off of it if it doesn't happen at this moment. Yes, it'll be amazing. I would be having a time. Like, trust me, I would. And I'm not saying I like being single. I'm not saying I don't want to be in a relationship. I definitely do. But I'm not pressed about it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not fiending to be with a man. Like, I'm not looking, like every time I do something, it's not for a man. I'm not searching when I go to a mall for a man. When I go out to eat, I'm not searching for a man. Like, I do stuff for me. And once you're comfortable with yourself, that will come. And I always tell myself that it will come. It's going to come. And I definitely have my moments where I'm like, dang, like, when is it gonna come? But trust and believe, patience is virtue, patience is key, and it will come. The point I wanna make in terms of being single, it's like, how do you expect for someone else to understand you, care for you, if you're not even comfortable with your own being? So that's why living alone opens a whole different sense of you. You're understanding you, like I was saying earlier, you're understanding what ticks, what makes you tick, what makes you mad, what you like, what you don't like. So how do you expect to just rush into a relationship to combat your loneliness when you don't even know nothing about you? So you expect a whole nother person to understand you and know you when you don't even know you? Come on, sis, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. So things you should do to prepare yourself if you want to move, thinking about moving, even if it's a small move, like across cities, across states. Like, these are things you want to keep in mind. Definitely do your research and definitely visit the area, especially if you're going to a new state. So what I did originally, before I moved, I can also do a whole separate video on this because I feel like this is a topic within itself. But before I moved, I definitely did research on the area I wanted to move to. I knew it was down south, I just didn't know specifically where. So I made sure to visit the areas, tour apartments, get a vibe of the city. Like, it's just a lot more than looking online, looking at videos, because you have to feel like you can immerse yourself into this different culture, this new city, this new lifestyle. So doing research on the area is big. Also, having a game plan, like, just don't jump into it. One thing about me, I'm very spontaneous, but I will say that I did have a game plan for myself. I did have a date in mind on when I wanted to leave, a month in mind when I wanted to leave, and everything up to that point I was building to leave. So I feel like, of course, you have people that just get up and move, and low-key, that was almost me, but it's good to have a game plan, like understanding, okay, I'm gonna leave at this time, I'm gonna make it here at this time. Plus, I like having things structured a little bit, so having that plan was very helpful for me. Then we have the topic of saving money, or like people talk about you need to have at least 5 months of rent saved. Baby, if you have a good job, if you know how to manage your money, if you just are financially sound and you know what you're doing with your money. I wanted to add something that I forgot about. Even if you do have this savings, apartments do not look at this when they do your credit history, when they look at your income. They're not taking into account, okay, well, she has $15,000 saved. She can definitely afford this apartment. They're looking at pay stubs and payment history. So even if you do have all this money saved, it really doesn't matter with moving and getting approved. I don't think saving is crucial. It's really not. I feel like saving is crucial if you don't really have I feel like it's crucial if you don't have a job already, or if you're looking for a job, or you're leaving the job you're having. I personally, for myself, saving for a move is not the biggest thing if you already have money saved, and like just purposely saving for a move. I mean, to the girls who do it, to each his own, but I just don't do it because I just know what I make, how much I gotta, like, I just plan everything out before I do it. I just don't jump into it and be like, oh my God, it's about to hit the fan because I didn't save money. I don't have 5 months of rent saved. Like, I'm good with my money and I know what I need. So yeah, I feel like if you just have money already saved, that should be fine, but you shouldn't have like a year's worth of rent saved up. That's insane. Like, you're telling me you're just not gonna be working all this time? Hey, to each his own, to each its own. And I don't want you guys to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm basically saying you should already have money saved for yourself, but going out your way to start saving for a move, I think that's unnecessary. But I feel like everybody should be saving money regardless of the fact. But my point is, to go out your way to be saving money just for a move is a little too much for me if you already have money saved. I just don't think that's a big deal breaker, because some people are like, oh my God, I really need to save this money. Girl, you really don't need to. And I can go into depth with that. Like I told you, this is a bigger topic. So if you guys want more information on that, I can seriously unpack that and talk about my journey and stuff that I do and everything like that, to give you guys a sense of comfort when it comes to that. Also, figuring out like transportation. Me personally, I have my own car, so I drove down here, but like, do you have a car? Are you gonna take the train? Is there trains in the city you're moving to, the state you're moving to? Are there buses? Like, how do you plan to get to where you are all the time? You're gonna Uber everywhere? Like, you have to calculate that. Just really calculate your expenses and understand your expenses. Also, furniture. Like, do you wanna keep the furniture you already have? But if you're at your parents' house and you're starting fresh. But if you're moving from a different apartment with like a roommate, do you want to take your furniture with you? Do you want to start fresh? I am starting completely fresh. That's why it sounds like Batcave in here, because I want to decorate my place a certain way. Like, I want it to be very homey. And you also have to realize, how long do you want to stay in this state for, this city for? Do you want to stay here for the rest of your life? Do you want to stay here for a couple months, you know? Do you want to stay here for a year or two? Like, that also depends on your lease agreement. Those are a lot of questions that you really need to answer before you sit and move. And like I said, if you guys want to host a separate video on that, please let me know, and I would love to do that for you guys. But yeah, y'all, that's about it. Like I said, living alone and moving to a new city is definitely the best decision I've ever made for myself. I feel I'm already independent, but I feel so much more independent. Like, it's making me uncomfortable, but in a good way. Like, learning to do things on my own, even though I've always had to do things on my own as I've gotten older, as I went to college, as I went to a military academy. Like, I've just always been self-sufficient, but it's really driving that part of me even more, which I love so much, because there's some people who just don't know how to be self-sufficient, be independent, but this seriously drives you to that. It drives you to uncomfortability, and it drives you to that state of sometimes you don't know everything, and sometimes you can't do everything, and this really just helps you gain that resilience and learn more about you, learn more about what to do in different situations. So I definitely recommend it, and this definitely was the best decision of my life. So if you guys have any more questions for me, definitely drop them in the comments and I will answer them, or if I feel like I need to make another video, I'll definitely do that too. But we had a time. This was a talk. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all share this video. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see. Let me know if you guys like this type of sitting down, talking to y'all type of video, because I like it. I like just spilling what I got to say, because I feel like I have a lot to say, and I feel like people should understand different viewpoints and just get knowledge from different individuals, because everyone is raised differently, moves the earth differently. So yeah, y'all, thank you again for staying tuned, and thank you for your continued support.